Eggs, long considered controversial in the cholesterol conversation, are now gaining attention in a new arena: triglyceride management. While they've historically been scrutinized for their cholesterol content, emerging research is suggesting that, under the right dietary conditions, eggs might actually help improve lipid profiles, particularly when it comes to lowering triglycerides. The key? It's all about the company they keep. When eggs are part of a low-carbohydrate diet, their nutritional strengths seem to shine in unexpected ways. Triglycerides, for context, are a type of fat found in the blood, and elevated levels are strongly linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and metabolic syndrome. High triglycerides often result not from dietary fat, but from excess carbohydrate intake, especially refined sugars and starches, which the liver converts into triglycerides when the body has more energy than it needs. So, when people switch to a lower-carb diet, they typically see significant drops in triglyceride levels simply by reducing that metabolic overflow. But what's surprising is that eggs, especially whole eggs, might enhance this effect. Several recent studies have found that individuals on low-carb or ketogenic diets who consume eggs regularly tend to show not only stable LDL and HDL cholesterol but also notable reductions in triglycerides. One clinical trial published in Nutrients found that overweight adults following a carbohydrate-restricted diet that included 3 whole eggs per day for 12 weeks experienced significant decreases in triglycerides compared to those who consumed egg substitutes or no eggs at all. The researchers suggested that the nutrient-dense profile of eggs, especially their healthy fats and choline, might play a role in modulating lipid metabolism when carbohydrate intake is low. Another line of research points to the type of fat in eggs. Eggs contain small amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly if sourced from pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched hens. Omega-3s are well documented for their triglyceride-lowering effects, especially when they replace inflammatory seed oils or refined carbs in the diet. So while eggs aren't swimming in omega-3s like fatty fish, they still contribute modestly, and when eaten regularly in a low-carb context, their impact can add up. There's also interest in how eggs affect insulin sensitivity. Since insulin resistance is a major driver of elevated triglycerides, any food that improves insulin response could have indirect triglyceride benefits. Eggs, being low in carbohydrates and high in protein and fat, have minimal impact on blood sugar and insulin levels, which is a key reason they're favored in metabolic-friendly diets. Importantly, these benefits are most consistently seen when eggs are part of an overall low-carbohydrate, whole food dietary pattern, not when they're fried in processed oils or served with a pile of pancakes. In other words, context matters. A 3-egg veggie omelet cooked in olive oil? Good. A greasy egg sandwich with white bread and hash browns? Not exactly therapeutic. So while eggs alone aren't a magic bullet, the emerging evidence suggests they may be a useful tool for improving triglyceride levels, particularly when they're part of a carb-controlled diet focused on quality fats and proteins. They're not just back at the table, they might be helping clean it up, too.